besties, you join me from my bed in my pajamas. This is a very impromptu start to the video because I was just creating a spread in my reading journal. Let me grab it, where is it? Here she is. It's my reading journal, I love her, she's one of my prized possessions. I was just creating a spread of all of the series that I'm in the middle of, and then I thought, wait, hold on a second. I've seen the girlies making videos about this. Maybe I should make a video of me completing the series I'm in the middle of. So welcome, that's what this is. This is the spread I just created. Based off this, I'm in the middle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 series. 16, okay? And of those 16 series, I've actually worked out how many are romance and how many are fantasy. It is exactly 8 romance series and 8 fantasy series I'm in the middle of. I have discounted out the ones that I just know I'm not going to carry on with. There are some that I read when I was like 14 that I am never going to pick up again, or there was some where I'd read them more recently. I'd read maybe the first or second book in the series and then decided I didn't want to carry on with it. So the plan for this week is just to get through as much as I can. This is also ideal because I have 3 of these books on my physical TBR. A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. This would be completing the Roots of Chaos series, which begins with A Priory of Orange Tree. I love The Priory of the Orange Tree, but both of these books are so chunky, so big, and I just can't foresee myself wanting to reach for this in this video. I feel like it would be lovely to read it and I would enjoy it, but also I would not read any other books for this video. I would be stuck reading this for like a week and a half. I also have The Atlas Paradox, which is the second book in the Atlas series by Olivia Blake. This is a 3-book series, so I would be getting slightly closer to finishing the series, but not actually finishing it. I am tempted by this because I read the Atlas 6 semi-recently. I read it this year, so it's kind of still fresh in my brain, so I would be able to dive into this and probably not have to reread the first book, which is tempting. And then I have Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, which is the second book in the Alex Stern series, which is only a duology. So if I read this, I would actually be completing a series of my list, which would be so satisfying. And then I do have some other books in series that are on my Kindle. So I have Keeping 13, which is the second book in the Boys of Tommen series by Chloe Walsh. I have the same issue with this book as I do with A Day of Fallen Night, which is that it's really long. I do also have some of the next books in the Addicted series and the Calloway series by Becca and Krista Ritchie. There are so many books in this series, I would never get to finish it in this video. I have another 5 books to read in this series. I've read 5 so far. There's 10 books across the 2 interconnected series. But to start with, we are going to read Fall With Me by Brooke Montgomery, which I've already just started reading this evening. It is the 3rd book in the Sugarland Creek series, and so far we only have 3 books out, so I feel like that would be really great to be up to date with all of the books that I have out in the series so far. This is a small town cowboy romance series that I love. It's super spicy, be warned. Brooke Montgomery does not hold back on the spice. This book follows Ellie and Landon. It's an enemies to lovers, grumpy sunshine, but in this book the sunshine is the guy and the grumpy is the girl, so it's like the reverse of the typical trope, and he just desperately wants her to like him because he really fancies her. So it's a really fun way to start their romance. I'm intrigued to see how Brooke Montgomery develops it. I'm only about 20% in, but I'm already loving it. I'm loving Brooke Montgomery's writing. I love being back in this like really familiar ranch setting now that I've read 2 books from the series. It's so comforting. I'm gonna start with that one, and then we're all up to date on the Sugarland Creek series, and then we'll see what I get to next. Hello besties, I'm reporting to you live from my bedroom again, in the same jumper again, but different evening. It's now a whole evening later and I'm coming to you because I have a reading update, and that update is last night I finished Fall With Me by Brooke Montgomery. I stayed up until 1 AM to finish that book, which truly just says the most about Brooke Montgomery's writing. I love it. Like, her books are so bingeable. They really remind me of when I was like 15, 14 years old, and I was really into reading Wattpad books, and I would stay up till ungodly hours of the morning when I had school the next day, and I would read these like Harry Styles fan fictions until 4 a.m. This book series makes me crave reading it the exact same way. Like, I can't put those books down once I start them. I am locked and loaded in the story. I'm at the ranch, I'm with the horses, and I can't leave until I finished it. And I ended up giving this book a 3 stars. I really liked it. It wasn't my favourite of the series so far. So this book followed Ellie and Landon, and in the previous 2 books in the series, it had been teased that they were like dislike enemies, vibes were not good. Landon quite clearly had a crush on Ellie, thought she was cute, but Ellie very clearly did not like Landon. So Landon is one of the brothers in the family that this book series kind of centers around, and he works on the ranch. And then Ellie is a barrel racer, which if you've never seen videos of barrel racing, go and watch some. It's absolutely insane. Like, as a non-American, I'm baffled. Like, your rodeo sports subculture baffles me. I find it fascinating, but I've never seen anything like it, and it's crazy. And I also went looking for this and then found videos of like 5-year-old children clinging on to sheeps. So do with that information what you will. But this book follows Ellie, the barrel racer. She's like very career driven. She's like focused on her career, focused on her national championship, very driven, type A. And then we have Landon, who's kind of got this reputation as like a little bit of a playboy. He like really weirdly works in the like breeding department of the ranch. So he like deals with the horses mating, and like that whole subsection of the book was just slightly odd, but hey, I mean, it's a real job, so hats off to you guys who are breeding horses. It's a slightly strange job from what I've learned from this book, but someone has to do it, I guess. I loved everything about this book across the board. I did find it dragged on a little bit at points. I think it could have been cut down a tiny bit. So like I said, that was a 3 stars, but now we need to pick our next read. I did go to the library earlier to see if they had any of the books that I was looking to read. They did not. So we are picking between what's on my shelves, what I already have on my Kindle, and if I really want to, I might treat myself and buy a new book on Kindle. So we've kind of got the options open. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. Okay, I have gone to assess my options on my shelf, and I would quite like to read a physical book that is on my shelf so I can get it off my physical TBR. The one that's tempted me the most is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. However, this does require me to remember what happened in the first book in the series, which is called Ninth House, and I don't remember what happened in Ninth House. So I'm hoping one of the girlies, I'm on YouTube right now, I'm hoping one of the girlies has made a summary of Ninth House so you don't have to read it video, so I don't have to reread it. Can I just say, people who make these kinds of videos where it's like, I read Ninth House so you don't have to, doing an absolute service to all of us. Like, thank you so much. Have to say though, not looking like anyone's made that video. So that's concerning. Oh, Ninth House recap before Hellbent. 9-minute video, 2K views. So 2,000 other people have had the same thought as me.
Read Hellbent, but I realized I remembered nothing about Ninth House, our magical secret society.
I am so happy that I watched that. It really helped recap my brain on what happened in Ninth House, and now I feel kind of ready to pick up Hellbent. I think I might actually be in the mood for a little bit of fantasy because I've been reading so much romance. I have not picked a fantasy up in a while. Oh, this lighting is foul. Well, hello besties. I've also got spot cream. I really post myself at my absolute fucking worst on the internet. Like, someone analyze what that's all about. I have to have my camera up here, otherwise the lighting is terrifying from down here. I've tried getting into Hellbent for the last, I don't even know how long. I've been sat here for a while trying to read it. And I kept putting it down. I think I'm just not in the mood for it. So I'm going to reassess my options. So let's pick a new book, okay? Let's go through this whole rigmarole again. Angle is not it, really, is it? Also, I should really rub this spot cream and I look ridiculous. Huge. You seen this crater on my face? What the fuck? Right. Let's get down to business. What have I got on my Kindle? Does anyone else's like Kindle store update every single time they use the Kindle? I'm like, how many updates do you need? £6 for a new adult sports romance for a man with his abs on the cover. You've got to be kidding me. Are you joking? Absolutely not. Okay, well, given I don't want to put myself in a slump and I don't want to read any of these books right now, I'm going to pause filming this video. I'm going to read something I want to read, and then hopefully when I'm in the mood to read one of these books, I will pick this video back up again, because I am not about to force myself to read a book I don't want to read, because I am not getting in a reading slump. So I'll speak to you very soon. Bye-bye. Hi besties, I'm with little May. Oh my god, she looks so cute and cozy. Oh, her little face, no stop it. She's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Look at her little face. And I'm here to give you a little reading update. I spoke to you last night. I said I'm going to pause the video because I can't find anything I want to read and I'm scared of putting myself in a slump, yada yada yada. Well, I tried reading a romance book and I was not feeling it at all. So then I was like, oh my god, am I in a slump? Is this it? Like, is this my slump era again? And then I was like, no, do you know what? I just really want to listen to an audiobook. I don't want to read a physical book. I want to be just swept away by an audiobook. And so I revisited Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh, which is actually on the list of books I wanted to get round to because I really would like to go further ahead with the Boys of Tommen series, but I was like, I kept being like, I'm not going to read it in this video, it's too long, like yada yada yada. Well, here we are. I'm reading it and I'm already over halfway through it and I've literally only been reading it today. And this is like, I actually don't have the physical book, so I don't know how many pages it is, but I've got Binding 13 there, and I'm pretty sure Keeping 13 is longer, and Binding 13 is like over 600 pages, so I've read a lot of this book today, which is partly due to the fact that I listened to this book on like times 2.5 speed because the prose is so easy to follow. I can just blast through it and it's really nice. It scratches some kind of itch in my brain, and if I continue to listen to it on times 2 speed, then I have 4 hours and 41 minutes left. So if I bump it up to 2.5, just out of curiosity, I have 3 hours and 45 minutes left. Oh, what is this chunk of hair doing? I've dropped down a bit lower so you can see little May. She keeps looking up at me because I'm talking. Her little tail's going. I am going to carry on reading this, maybe finish it tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. I've got Pilates tomorrow, so we'll have to do that. But I can read a lot tomorrow. I've got no real plans tomorrow. Yeah, I'm like so happy with the progress we're making in this video. I'm like, oh my god, wait, am I actually sticking to like a TBR kind of? Like, I'm actually reading the books I want to be reading and like need to be reading. Who is she? Who is she? That's never me. Also, this is so unrelated to the video, but I want to show you my colouring I did tonight because I'm so proud of my colouring in. I spent ages listening to the audiobook whilst colouring, so it's like somewhat relevant to the video. I'll put you there and I'll go get my colouring. Just look how cute this is. I've been colouring in butterflies and I love it so much. I've had so much fun. I will speak to you tomorrow for hopefully a final reading update on this book and we can pick the final book of the video. Hi besties. So I haven't actually spoken to you for quite a few days. It's been like 5 or so days since you saw that last clip of me reading Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh, and I just haven't been in the mood to pick my camera up, but I do have some really exciting reading updates for you, and that is that I did finish Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars maybe. It was really good and I did really enjoy it. I don't think I enjoyed it quite as much as Binding 13, which I gave 4 stars, hence why I'm kind of sitting at like the 3 to 3.5 range. I'm just so glad I've actually got through another book in that series because they are so long and so intimidating. I didn't actually think I would get around to reading one of them in this video, but I'm super glad that I did, and reading it on an audiobook really saved my ass because I do not think I would have read it if it was not for the audiobook. I am now going to take a little bit of a break from the series because the books are, as I say, so long, so intense, very emotionally grueling to read. I think I kind of need to take a break before I dive into the next book, which is following Joey. I then immediately afterwards picked up Thrive by Krista and Becca Ritchie, which is the next book in the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series, and I'm so like proud of myself for actually sticking to reading series that I need to finish. Unfortunately, this book wasn't the best. I had heard from people before that this book was very much recapping a lot of the events of the previous books. If you don't know the book series, it kind of follows a few different sisters, the Calloway sisters, and then their relationships. The kind of main couple it starts with is Lily and Lo, and they are each addicts. Lo is an alcoholic and Lily is a sex addict, and at the beginning of the series they're very much enabling each other and kind of covering up for each other their addictions. They obviously kind of progress, their relationship grows, and this book specifically focused on them again, but I think it was like either the 3rd or the 4th book about them as a couple, whereas we hadn't had as many books on the other 2 couples, which I was kind of getting to the point with it where I was like, I think I'm done with Lily and Lo a little bit. Like, I know it might be a controversial opinion because some people really love Lily and Lo, but I was like, I don't really know how much we need to rehash this again. Unfortunately for me, the next book in the series in the recommended reading order by the authors is also about Lily and Lo, and I'm like, I'm fucking over it, guys. So I'm contemplating skipping the next book and just moving on to the one after it so I can read about the other couples. I know that seems sacrilege, but like, I'm over it. I'm done. I really don't want to read more about Lily and Lo. So I'm actually thinking of finishing this video off here because I've actually managed to read 3 books from series that I'm in the middle of, one of which was a 600+ page fucking mammoth of a book. I may do a part 2 if you want to see a part 2, but I think I'm going to do the part 2 once some of the books have been released, like the ones where I'm waiting for the next book in the series. For example, the new Liz Tom Ford book in the Windy City series is coming out soon. The new Hannah Grace book is coming out next month. I might do this video again next month once some of my new releases in my series have come out. If you want to see that video, let me know. If not, thank you so much for being here, besties, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye!